Let me tell you today a story about Prince Albert and his best friend David. Once Prince Albert was caught and imprisoned by a king of the neighboring kingdom. The king wanted to kill the prince but decided to give him a chance if the prince could find an answer to an eternal question: what do women want? The king gave 1 year for the prince to find it out, and when the prince came back to his kingdom, he started asking everybody, but no one knew the answer. Even women themselves, they didn't know what they wanted. So he didn't know what to do, and he went to his best friend David, who recommended to go to a witch who was living in the swamp. She was living alone, she was old, she was ugly, but she was quite wise. They decided to go together, so they went to the swamp, they found the witch, and the witch said that she could help Prince Albert with one stipulation. She said that she would tell the answer to the question what women want if his best friend David married her. David didn't think much and he agreed immediately for the sake of his best friend, Prince Albert. He said that he would marry an old ugly witch. And then the witch said that what every woman wants is just to be responsible of your own life. And that was it. The prince came back to the king. He told him the answer. The king was astonished. He was impressed. And he set the prince free. But the prince was still depressed because he kept thinking about the upcoming marriage of his best friend David and an old ugly witch. But there was nothing that could have been done because a deal is a deal. And at the day of the wedding, a handsome knight, David, was sitting next to an old ugly witch who was acting very repulsively. That day she was eating with hands, she made some nasty noises. But David was expecting the worst, their first night. And when the time came, David was standing in front of the door of his bedroom, and he realized that as a man of his word, he gave a promise and he had to keep it. So he bit the bullet, he opened the door, but instead of an old ugly witch, he saw there the most beautiful woman he had ever seen in his entire life. And the woman said that because David was very kind to her and David was very kind to Prince Albert, she would be, from then on, she would be a witch for 12 hours and a beautiful woman for the rest of the day. And she asked David to select which part of the day he'd like to see her beautiful and which part of the day he'd like to see her ugly. David started thinking, well, if she were ugly during the day, he would hide it from his friends, but he would enjoy his nights with a beautiful wife. Or vice versa, if he showed off his beautiful wife to his friends during the daytime, he would suffer from the night spending with an old ugly witch. He looked at the witch, or the woman, a beautiful woman, and he told her that he wanted her to make a decision herself. And the woman said, because of this answer, she would never, ever be an old ugly witch again. And the reason is quite simple. Because David gave her a chance to be responsible of her own life. What's the moral of the story? It doesn't matter whether a woman is old or young, stupid or smart, ugly or beautiful. Every woman deserves respect.